Hello and welcome to Chess with Simon. I'm Simon. Let's have a look at these correspondence games then. Nick first. So this is a strategic, very sound, very interesting game. Okay. I think black is struggling to find a plan here. Black is struggling to find anything useful to do because I suppose white's plan's not obvious either, and white got the first move. So what I want to do is I'm going to expand on the queen's side. I mean, I suppose you should say, well, hang on. This pawn suggests you should be expanding on the king's side. And maybe that's right. So maybe that means that knight h5 is a really good move. I'm just making this up as I go along. Maybe you go knight h5, then what do they do? Knight d2. Then you go f5, do you? I saw a Fischer game where he played f4, not in this exact position, but... And then you go knight e2, well... Discuss. You can go f4. You can go f4, actually. Okay, I'm making this up as I go along. I'm going to expand on the king's side, and my rationale is that this pawn is the basis for a king's side expansion. I mean, you could say this pawn is the basis for a queen side expansion, couldn't you? In which case you play a6 and rook b8. a6, knight d2, rook b8. What do they play? de4. You take it, you're kind of drawing. I mean, with best play or something. So, but I suppose... Alright, we're going to expand on the king's side because, I don't know, that's where the opponent's king is. This, I think something's gone a bit wrong for me here because I think my opponent, Joseph, who I notice has also joined my chess.com tournament. Thank you, Joseph. Looking forward to that. Should we just quickly segue into that since we mentioned it? So if we go play tournaments, the chess.com tournament now has 8 people in there. It's kind of fun to watch people join it. Show the world your chess skill. 8 out of 240. I assume that as people join, I assume Simba, however you pronounce that, Simbakand? He's a much better player than that rating suggests. It's fine. Probably not played very many games. Look at the Blitz rating, 2000. Yeah. Look at the puzzle rating, 2900. I was there. I even got to 3000. But at the moment, I'm languishing at 2820. But I bet his highest is higher. Come on, let's look at the highest, 3048. Well done, my friend. That's very impressive. Okay, so there's 8 people who joined this tourney. And I think at some stage, when more people join, it starts to get a higher profile and it takes off. Anyway, the point is... He's controlling d4, so it's very hard to play d4. I suppose if you play knight f3 and then black plays knight f6, you can probably play d4, right? Black doesn't have to play knight f6 and probably doesn't often do that. And then d4 is a good move. But the problem is in this position, you know, black can play all sorts of things like d6 and then I suppose maintains control over d4. So that looks like all a bit of a red herring. So we're going to play a3 and expand on the queen side. I mean, it's absolutely astonishing that in a position like this, the only plan I can find is to play a3 and expand on the queen side. But, you know, in a way that's fascinating. Okay, I've looked at this. We're going to take the knight. Now, it'd be tempting to take the queen and just get the queens off because clearly my king is feeling frightened. You know, he's a long way from castling. There's still a bishop to develop. So you want to take the queen and just get the queens off and know that that's happened. But that then puts the rook on the file, so it's probably not optimal. So what one should probably do is take the knight. And I assume there's nothing horrible like a check here. You bring the knight back. So I assume that the line here is correct. And then they want to play knight d7. I guess the bishop has to run. Then you can play e6. And it looks like black can get out. Ian may know something I don't. Ian knows a lot of things I don't, but basically Ian may know something I don't. But what can you do? You got to take a risk. You know, we've got to do something, right? Oh, I mean, how much? I think almost every move here was programmed. What did I say next? Did I say knight d7 next? Okay. We're not going to do it because, for reasons we've discussed before, we're going to enjoy it. Here, I'm going to play a3 and expand on the queen side. It just doesn't look relevant though, does it? Come on, let's play a3 and expand. I mean, is it really correct, you think? The other idea is to do this, 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 this. Nah. We're doing a3, we're going to expand on the queen side. There you go. That's called decision making. Here, we're going to play knight c6 to attack the d4 pawn. That's fundamental to the green felt. Hello, Gareth. I hope you're well. Gareth had seen that coming. I think maybe you can play bishop g4 next, can't you? Or not. Or I think the modern way is to play b6. Is that right? Oh, queen c7. You know what? b6 is not a bad move, though. I think b6 might be an engine move. My memory is b6 might be what the engines play, but bishop g4 is the main line. Knight a5 is playable. Queen c7 is playable. What, queen c7 with a view to putting the rook on there or something? Rook c1, rook d8. We'll have to see. We will have to see. But for now, that is what it is. Gary, thank you. I'll take the pawn. And we've got a beautiful kind of mainline position. I think my bishop's coming to g2 would be my guess. This, I mean, how is d5 not the move here? d5's the move, isn't it? d5. Oh, black does better than white in the small sample of games. d5. Knight e7. Knight d2. Okay. Woo! I mean, black gets a bit of initiative. h5. And looking good. So what's the alternative to d5? Rook c1. Queen d2. Queen d2, really? I don't understand it. I only understand d5. It's probably more fun as well, isn't it? Let's do the fun thing. So here, I think we've looked at this. I think we have to take the knight on f3, otherwise we lose a piece, right? So we take the knight on f3. Can't take there because I take the queen. So I think what we can't, it may have programmed this, take. White pretty much has to take. Black pretty much has to take. And oddly, we're into a book move position there where either castles or knight c3 gives white the statistical advantage. So, but otherwise we're losing a piece. So I've gone a bit wrong here, as discussed in previous videos. I don't think it's a catastrophe, but it's not great either. So Tom has played knight f3, and I've got a sneaking suspicion that Tom's going to play a double Grunfeld. He's so fond of the Grunfeld, he's going to play a Grunfeld to my Grunfeld. And I was trying to think about what you do about that objectively. Do I play c5? Not really. I mean, c5 is probably not a bad move. I think I play g6. The database says c5 creates more decisive games. You can play e6, of course, it's more solid, better stats. But we're not here to play e6. We're here claiming, because we're not here to get into a Queen's Gambit declined. We're here to get into a Grunfeld, but I think Tom's going to take us in a different direction. But I suppose I'm claiming that in the double Grunfeld, white doesn't have much of an advantage. Because that's what I'm claiming. That in the double Grunfeld, white doesn't have much of an advantage. And I have actually played the white side of that for some weird reason. Now this one, this is interesting. So in the last video, I said that the knight on c6, hi Alex, the knight on c6 is pinned. So I claimed that this knight is pinned, which means I can take this pawn. So let's have a look what happens. I take the pawn. So one possibility is knight takes, then I take here, then the bishop moves, then I go here, Then the pawn goes there to try to win this pawn. Takes, takes. And I can play a move like d3. And I'm a pawn up, but it's a very weird position. Another possibility, I think, is after this, I think I might slightly prefer this. I just go here and just give the pawn. And after knight takes, just play d3 on a tempo. And then I think I'm claiming then we just got a better position. But material's equal. I think I prefer that, although I'm not entirely sure. But I suppose the question is there anything else I want to do here? I mean, there's two questions. Is there anything else I want to do here? And also, is there anything clever black can do which actually just kills me here? Like, is there anything... But I don't think there is, because you can take at least once, possibly twice here. You know, there's no queen move, there's no checks. You know, you just take, and then if the bishop takes, takes. Just a pawn up, right? So I don't think this kingside attack is going to materialise. So I may have missed something, but I don't think I have. I think you can just take that. I think... Oh! So my opponent saw it. So now straight away you say, can I play knight here? But then the queen takes it, defends this pawn. You know, if you had d3 played, you could play knight here, queen takes, bishop here, queen moves, check, could cause havoc. But okay, so my opponent was happy to play into this line. So can I not play d4 next? I think you're tempted to play d4 next. And defend the knight. So there's no knight takes and there's no queen takes. And then you've got bishop f4 coming. I mean, I just think white's better here. I mean, you could take on c6 and then play d4. Take on c6, bishop takes, bishop takes. You could also for instance, go takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. Ah, no, it doesn't work. Okay, it's all to think about. You know what else I'm going to do, actually, just to finish up? Well, I'm not going to do it tonight. I was going to do my chess.com. Come on, we'll do them very quickly. Do my chess.com correspondence game. So apparently I'm in the European Daily Tournament number 3 in this big group with a bunch of people who haven't really got a rating. So I'm going to have some interesting experiences there. So actually what I'm going to do is just play simple chess and see what happens. e4, e4. Does it change? I don't know. e4. e4, e5. I'm just making this up as I go along. I mean, e5 can't be a bad move, can it? This one, I actually don't know what to do here. I'll have to think about it. But Iron Throne of the Seven Kingdoms, I'm basically a pawn up. But this guy has won against the quite high rated person. So it's quite important that I just hang in there. But I can't decide what to do on this one. I think this is part of the same tournament. I mean, e5 looks attractive, doesn't it? Bishop f4 maybe. I think this is against Aaron. I think I'm a piece up here. Alright, I think that might develop a bit more. It's great to see you all. Look after yourselves. Enjoy your chess. I'll see you next time.